Good morning and greetings from Northumberland on the 10th of July. It's a duller and not yet a damper, but it may be later morning here in Northumberland. Yesterday I, like many people, watched the strangest beginning of an archbishop's ministry that I think we've ever seen. It was done by Zoom, and there were all these faces on the screen, like a 1970s quiz program, and each of them popped up and said their various things. And at the end of it, Stephen Cottrell was the Archbishop of York. And later in the day, we saw him taking up the pastoral staff and then walking out into York to bless the city and to meet other people. And one of the things that he said on the Minster steps was that he found it quite strange that he'd ended up being the Archbishop of York, and that his task, he felt, had always been to tell people about Jesus. And it was that vocation that led him to finally become the Primate of England. And I think that's really important, that he recognises that his vocation as the Archbishop is to engage people with the story of Jesus. The Gospel today continues that commission of Jesus to go out and to proclaim the Gospel, that apostolic commission I talked about a couple of days ago. And Jesus says that when you do this, you'll often be in trouble. He talks about physical danger. He talks about having to speak about Jesus in a hostile climate. And he says, don't worry, because what you have to say will be given to you. And that's important for us, because although we in England do not live in a physically dangerous situation when we have to proclaim Jesus, there are many Christians throughout the world who did, and I've worked with many Christians who were in fear of their lives because of their Christian conversion. That is a continued state for Christians in different places, in Iran, in India, and in China, and in other places in the world. People are persecuted for their faith. But we, in this country, do not face a physical persecution. But we do, I think, sometimes have to speak the gospel in a hostile climate. In a climate where people will think perhaps that we're mad or naive or simply stupid because we follow this way of Jesus. And sometimes it takes courage simply to acknowledge that and to say, yes, this is the way that I walk. He is the one that I follow. And because I do this, my attitudes to some of the things that people accept quite normally may be different. And so we speak up for the sacredness of every human life. We speak up for the need of compassion and care and kindness in the way we operate. And we seek in the church to model the sort of society that follows Jesus. Now, we don't always get it right, and the church makes lots of mistakes, and Christian individuals make lots of mistakes. But Jesus sets before us that task that Archbishop Stephen spoke about yesterday, of simply living and telling the way of Jesus, so that others may come closer to him. May God bless us as we seek to do this today and every day.